Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 4. Boy, do we have a story for you today, and I honestly want to go off script and tell this story first, but I think I'm gonna wait. But just know that it's going to be a good one because something just happened with Cloudy that was really scary, but also now I feel so much better and happy, and I was originally not going to talk about it, and now I'm going to. So buckle up, folks. It's gonna be a good one. Speaking of Cloudy, he is in my room today. I'm recording back in my room. I've honestly recorded in a different location every single episode, and I realized that the other day. The first episode I recorded in the city, and then episode 2 I recorded with Harris back in this very spot. And then episode 3 I recorded at my kitchen table for some reason. I don't know why I chose that as the location, but that's where I recorded. And yeah, I guess I like the city the best, even though I was most nervous about like the background noise, but it was not as authentic because I didn't have Clouder with me. So this has to be the location that I'll probably record in the most. I'm literally sitting on my floor. My computer and my microphone are on my ottoman right in front of me. And I have all the lights turned off with LED lights. It's kind of vibey in here, but it's nice and relaxing to just sit down and talk to you guys and also like have Cloudy play in the background. I feel like this is going to be like the spot for In the Clouds, unless I'm in the city when I'm recording, which is not a bad location either, but this is going to be my location, I'm pretty sure. So speaking of my room, I wanted to give you guys a reading update. Since last episode I talked about how I really wanted to jump into a new hobby of reading. Well, it's revisiting the hobby of reading because I did really love to read, mostly when I was in high school, and then after college it kind of faded off just because I didn't have time, but I really want to get back into it. So if you listened last week, you knew that I bought the Hannah Brown from the Bachelorette book, and it's her memoir, and I really wanted to read it. So I last left you guys saying that I was going to go read in my room before going to bed and watching a YouTube video. I have to be honest and report that that did not occur. I honestly don't even know what I did that night that prevented me from reading because I really was like convincing myself like you're going to go and read tonight. I had it all planned out in my head, but it didn't happen. And I forgot what I did, but it didn't happen, but it did happen the next day. So we rerouted a little bit, but we still got there, and I think I read a few chapters. The reason I don't remember how many chapters I read was because I haven't read since that one time. So I started it, and I really was enjoying it. Like, I feel myself in books that I don't enjoy constantly looking for when the chapter is done or what page that I'm on, and I didn't do that with this book. Like, I enjoyed however long I read, I enjoyed that time, but I don't know why I didn't pick the book back up, and I need to do that. So maybe I'll make it my goal for tonight, maybe to read again, or at least to read one more time by the time I record next, and we'll start from there, baby steps. But that was my reading update, and I'm kind of feeling some shame that I have to report this news that I did not stick to what I was literally just saying only 2 weeks ago. Kind of pathetic of me, but it's totally fine. We're going to persevere, and we're going to read for next week. I feel like this is like Reader's Workshop class in middle school, high school, where you have to like log your reading log. Maybe I need to start a reading log. I'll get my mom to sign it, and we'll be all good in the hood. So speaking of my failures lately, I wanted to talk about how terrible I am at creating this podcast, and it's probably pretty apparent, but I feel like my parents and my family think that I'm like super techie. I don't know anything of what I'm doing. My mom will always ask me like iPhone questions, or like, I don't know, my grandparents ask too, but that's like all grandparents ask their grandkids. But everyone thinks I'm techie. I don't know shit. And so starting this podcast, I did not know shit. And I honestly still don't know shit. So I'm a huge procrastinator. And pretty much everything on this podcast, truthfully, has been procrastinated. So from recording week to week, procrastinate, to learning the equipment that I record on, total procrastination. So let me just tell you a little tale of starting with the microphone for this podcast. The microphone I had from when I used to record music in high school. I play guitar and I used to record songs in my room, like the little emo girl I was in high school, and I got a really nice microphone for it. And I honestly didn't even use it that much because I mainly recorded voice memos on my phone. But I used it a few times. But it was in high school, and then I didn't touch it all through college, so I totally forgot anything related to that microphone. And then when I got the idea for the podcast, I was like, oh my god, I have a really nice Yeti microphone already. It's not even like I have to buy one to have good audio. And I wanted to make this podcast somewhat quality, as much as I could, because I knew I was going to suck on all the other stuff, so I was like, at least I'll have a good microphone. So weeks leading up to my recording day, I was like, I should probably sit down with that microphone and relearn how it works, the settings, see if it even hooks up to my computer. And I kept saying that I was going to do that, and it was an important thing to do for an upcoming podcaster like myself, and I just never got to it. And again, I don't know what I did in that activities place, just like reading. I don't know what I did to not read. I didn't know what I did to avoid learning my microphone, but I just didn't learn it. Then my first recording day comes about, and I have my script all in front of me. I'm all hyped up, ready to go. First episode of the podcast, let's get it. Plug my microphone in, and I'm ready to record, and it's just not connecting to my computer. So then I'm fuck. Did a whole deep dive into Google. I went more than 3 pages back, which I feel is the threshold to she's getting deep. And I still didn't know how to hook my microphone up, and some people in the chains in my research were yeah, it's not compatible, but I felt myself blocking that out. I was no, it's definitely compatible, even though I bought this microphone in high school and I just got my computer over the summer. So it very well could have been not compatible, but my brain didn't want to believe that. I was no, this is going to work, because I didn't want to have to buy the new microphone. After hours of researching, I was I'm not going to record tonight. It's a lost cause, and I kind of just admitted to the fact that the microphone wasn't compatible. I finally accepted that notion, and it was quite difficult still dealing with it. And I bought another one. I bought the updated version of my microphone. And you think I would have learned from that situation. I have been using this microphone for all 4 episodes now, and I still don't know a lick about this microphone. Dead ass nothing about this microphone could I tell you. I plugged it in the day that I was going to record episode 2, or I guess it was episode 1. I plugged it in. Still knew nothing. After the whole situation that I had before, where I didn't do my prep work and plug the microphone in, and then it kind of came back to bite me. I've just been doing that every single episode, just hoping for the best, plugging in, hoping for the best, and I didn't learn my lesson. So I know nothing about this microphone. I'm listening back to episode 2, specifically when Harris came on, and the audio sounds like actual shit, guys. So sorry that I've released that. It's kind of embarrassing, but oh my god, Claudi's dragging me. He's yeah, it sounded like crap. I know, Claudia, it was pretty bad. So, moral of the story is I'm figuring it out, and I'm a work in progress. I had my friend Danny, love you Danny, because I know she listens, she's so loyal, and she's a podcast producer, and she helped me, showed me some tips, so hopefully this sounds better, but just wanted to hop on here and say how terrible I am. I'm the worst podcaster ever, and sorry that you had to listen to that other audio, really sucky of me. I also suck at the promotion for this podcast. I'm just last minute on anything, so I really need your help here. What do you think that I should do with this podcast? Honestly, I would love people who listen to send me some ideas, to not only send me ideas of what to talk about, but what they would like to see from my social media. Do they want more stories? Do they want a Q&A? I honestly don't know why anyone would want a Q&A of me. But literally, what do you want? Just tell me. And I don't really care, like, who's listening, what you have to say. You can honestly tell me, like, it's stupid, no one's gonna listen. And, like, that would be helpful feedback. So just reach out to me in any way, shape, or form. Instagram probably is the easiest, In the Clouds Pod, with 3 S's on clouds. So give it a follow and message me. I really want feedback. Cloudy's telling me a lot right now, so I'm going to go process this feedback that Cloudy is giving me and hopefully make better content that I've been making. I had to escort Clouder out of here because he was getting just out of pocket. He just loves to chat at inopportune times, but honestly, it's okay because he's so freaking cute. So anything he does is fine. So I took the past 2 days off, and there's no specific reason why. I just had my PTO days come in like a rationed amount, except next year. Next year we're doing unlimited PTO, so that will be fun. But I had like a certain amount of days left over, and I obviously wanted to use them. And I figured I would take these 2 days so I didn't have to go up into the city and just relax and spend more time at home, and specifically with Cloudy, obviously. So I took 2 days randomly off, and honestly, it was really nice. I didn't do anything, really. I feel like everyone at work tomorrow is going to be like, Mattie, how was your time off? What did you do? And I have nothing to report, honestly. Like, I caught up on sleep. I exercise, but I do that, like, anyway. And I moved real slowly. I feel like I'm always, like, moving so quick during the week, like, trying to get back to work, or, like, I don't know, I'm, like, always on the go. So I was a slow mover these past 2 days. And, like, I ate a lot. That's, like, all I did. I kind of just chilled. And part of me feels guilty for that. Like, I feel like now that I'm a working lady, I am always like, okay, well, you have to overprogram your weekend since you don't get to do this stuff during the week. But these past 2 days, I did squat, like, nothing. The only productive things that I did were finish up on my Christmas shopping, which has been looming over my head. I'm like a very anxious Christmas shopper. I like to get everything done all at once and get it off my plate, but it kind of sucks because I get it done early and then I'm so excited to give everyone their gifts. So right now I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait till Christmas, but I don't want the holiday season to be over. So I caught up on that and finished that, which was super relieving. And I guess like that was a great thing that I did on my time off. But other than that, clean Cloudy's cage, which doesn't take long, and I could do that during the week too, but I guess I did it during my time off. I needed to take off to clean Cloudy's cage. Oh, and I got my COVID booster, so #vaccinated 3 times, got boosted, and I felt fine too. So I was a little achy, but I was fine. So it was productive time off for like my self-care for sure, which I know is important. But I feel like such a lame-o loser idiot that tomorrow everyone's gonna be like, oh, your time off, you took 2 days off, like, what did you have planned on a random Tuesday and Wednesday? I'm gonna be like, oh, what did I have planned? Sleeping till 10:30, bothering the hell out of Harris while he still is working, and hanging out with my pet bird. Like, that required time off. Could not work. Sorry, guys. It's so funny. So I did spend a lot of time with Cloudy, though, during my time off, and I feel like that's a good segue into the big, what do they call it, meat and potatoes, like, of the episode. This is, like, front page cover, the big story. I'll have to think of a title that is in relation to this story, because this is the main event, everyone. So, I spent a lot of time with Cloudy over the past few days, and he's been doing this one thing that is a little bit of a cause for concern. He stretches his neck really high and he opens his beak like really, really wide, and it looks like he's either yawning or it honestly looks like he's choking. So he only has done this once before and it triggered me. I was freaking out. I was like, I'm gonna be the worst mother. Like, I'm gonna be the most paranoid mother that takes their kid to the doctor over everything. Get ready to deal with me when that time comes. So Brielle, my sister, was watching him, and she is obsessed with Cloudy, and she's like just as worried as me. So she's a good person to have this like have happen to. So she was upstairs with him, and TBH, I was smoking outside, and she FaceTimes me and was like, Mattie, like, Cloudy's doing something that I've never seen him do before. And she showed me him, and he was like doing this thing, and we immediately thought he was choking. So like a fucking wild, like, I don't even know what is wild. A goose? I don't know. I ran upstairs, like, all hands on deck on Cloudy, grabbed him, and I was like, you're going under the water. And so I put him like underwater so he could like get a sip and get it moving down and try and clear anything that was like stuck in his throat. So he got sips, and like he definitely like stopped it shortly after. I don't know if the water was like the thing that helped, but he was doing that, and we were all like surrounding him. It was like literally an ER session on Cloudy. And so he did that once, and over the past few days he's been doing it a few times. And just because it was a few times, I got concerned, obviously, and I started like going down the rabbit hole of Googling, and everyone was like, it could be normal, like it's probably normal. But out of like the thousands of articles that I read, maybe like a handful said that, oh yeah, it's respiratory infection. So I took that and I ran with it, of course, and I like started freaking out, and I was like, oh my god. So I'm watching like all these videos, I'm messaging people on Instagram that has posted that their parakeets have been doing the same thing, and they like have respiratory infection. I just went full out unplugged rogue and started doing like the most insane outreach. So yeah, I messaged people on Instagram. I called a bird store that me and Harris have gone to, and this guy knows his shit. So I was like, hello, like, what is the problem with my parakeet? And he was like, oh, he's yawning, he's fine. I was like, I don't know if he's yawning. I can't take that as an answer. Like, I'm too worried for that. So I paid money to speak to a veterinarian online. I like can't even take myself seriously. And I was chit-chatting with her, and everyone was doubting me. Everyone was like, are you really going to pay money for this? And I was like, you know what? Yes. And in the beginning, it seemed like she was just, like, asking me questions to, like, fill the time. But she pulled through. Dr. Snow, I think her name was. Oh my god, she's a real one, because she pulled through, and she said that it was something that he was, like, clearing his throat. I forget what it was called. Crop adjustment or something. I don't know bird terminology, but all in all, Cloudy is okay, and it was a false alarm. I hope so. I hope this woman like knows what she's talking about. I did not pay much, but I think he's fine, and I wasn't even going to talk about it on the podcast because I was like upset and nervous, and I was like, maybe I'll talk about it because like I do want to like vent to the pod, and I feel like that is going to be something that I do down the line. But I was like, I don't know if we're there yet. Can I really be emo on the podcast on episode 4? I don't think so. So I wasn't going to talk about it, but I feel confident that my little Clouder is okay, and he is just super poofy and playful and cute. And I think that he's healthy, and I'll give you updates of his health because I know people do care about Cloudy, and why wouldn't they? So Cloudy is good. Mattie is good now. Mattie wasn't good before. And now the podcast knows about Cloudy's little health scare. And hopefully we don't have to talk about this again. Also, speaking of Cloudy, I'll stay on the topic of the little Muffy. He has been so bad lately. And I don't know where he got the idea that since it's his first Christmas, like, he's a shoo-in for the nice list, because that is simply not true. I've been telling him that, like, Santa's not gonna come because he's been so bad. So his main 2 things that we're trying to break him of is biting, number 1. He was never a biter before, and I think we kind of trained him to bite because we always give him kisses, which you're not really supposed to do, but I have to give him kisses. Like, have you seen him? So he's learned to bite because like we lean in, and I think he has like responded to that with a playful bite. But sometimes it really hurts. Like, he is little, but he is fierce. He will get a hold of your lip, and sometimes he'll go as far as to like put his hand also on your lip, so he's like grabbing you and you're like feeling his hand on you and he's biting you, and it's just like not a fun time. Brielle is playing Fortnite outside, so you're gonna hear them, I think, die. I don't think that was a winning scream. But anyway, yeah, so he'll bite and it will hurt. And so we definitely want to rid him of that habit. He also really likes to fly on things that he shouldn't be landing on. So he is very obsessed with all things mirrors, all things shiny, because he loves to see his reflection. So he often lands on my sink, and once he is locked and loaded into the sink, you cannot get him to fly away. Like, one track mind, he needs to be on the sink at all times if he knows about it. If he doesn't know about it and he like doesn't see it when we first walk in, he's fine. But once he notices the sink, he cannot be tamed. He cannot be stopped. He will be on that sink. So it's frustrating when we're trying to go downstairs and put him back, and he just wants to be on the sink, and it's hard to get him back. So that's something that we're also trying to break him of. And because he does that, he goes on top of my like light fixture, on top of my mirror in my bathroom, which is high up. I can't even reach him up there. The first time that he went up there, I tried to reach up there, and I was like standing on my toilet, like leaning over my sink, trying to get Cloudy down, and I conked my head. Like, Harris thought I was concussed. And it was because the clouder was being bad. Now I try to get him down, and I use a hairbrush, just like my standard hairbrush. He's terrified of it. It's so scary. And the second I raise the hairbrush out, he like goes squawking and like flies out of the room, and he'll go right back up there. But it's a temporary fix, so I can like quickly shut my bathroom door and he can't get back in. But he is being bad, and it's sometimes really hard to like get him to stop doing these things. And I tell him that Santa's not going to come, but he is not listening. So we talked all about the holidays, and I sound crazy, and we talked about New Year's as well. And I told Cloudy that there's a such thing as New Year's resolutions, and I said that he should make one. And I made a little suggestion for him that we are going to start being 60% good and 40% bad. I think that's quite fair, and I think that's quite doable, but I do not think the Cloudy is doing that currently. I would say it's a little bit reversed. He's probably like over 60% bad now. I would say he's like nearing the 75 percentile, and he's just playing, but he is being bad, and he needs to listen to me, listen to his mommy, and be good. So Santa will come. So I think the New Year's resolution is going to be a good goal for him. I hope that he can abide by it. We have been reminding him of it while he's bad, and I've been like, Cloudy, does 60-40 ring a bell? And he just isn't picking it up yet. He's not all there. He's not getting it. So hopefully that gets better, and with the holidays coming right around the corner, I hope that he like kicks his behavior into high gear, because Santa might have already bought him Christmas gifts at PetSmart today, and also ordered him stuff at Petco yesterday. So he really needs to kick it into high gear and start abiding by our 60-40 rules. Everyone root for Cloudy, 60-40, 2022. Speaking of the holidays, I'm so freaking excited for Christmas this year. I think it's because it's the first Christmas since COVID that my family can all really get together. Last year we did really abbreviated versions of Christmas and our Christmas festivities. So this year, like, it's going to be like the normal again, and I'm really excited. It's also the first normal Christmas that Harris and I have spent together, because the first year he only came to a few of our Christmas festivities because, like, we weren't that close yet. And then the next year was obviously COVID, and so this year, like, he's gonna get the full around of the Ponte Landolfo Christmas, and I'm so excited. Something that I'm low-key stressed about is how much I'm going to eat on Christmas, because we are an Italian family and we eat a lot on every holiday, but because it's Christmas, it's like our Super Bowl, and we have multiple different parties throughout the whole like Christmas Eve, Christmas timeline. So I know I'm gonna eat, and I'm gonna eat a lot, and I'm not stepping on the scale this week or next week or the week after, and probably for a while. Can't do it. So on Christmas Eve, I know that we're going to have that good because we do Christmas Eve at my cousin Liv's house, who I mentioned in the first episode. She is my cousin, but also my bestie pal, and it's super fun being related and also like besties. So we go to her house for Christmas Eve, and oh, we're gonna have lasagna, which is one of my like all-time favorite foods, which I feel like is a weird favorite food to have, but my Grammy's lasagna hits the spot every time. Like, you cannot miss with that lasagna. Last year, Cooper made it because we didn't all get together for Christmas Eve, so Cooper subbed and made lasagna, and that one was also like king. Oh my god, king and queen lasagnas. So good. Oh, I love a lasagna. Do you guys like a lasagna? And so that's what I'm going to eat on Christmas Eve, along with probably a billion and trillion other things. Christmas morning is our big breakfast. Oh my god, my mom and dad Chef Mickey it up in the kitchen. Sometimes our fuses blow because they're cooking so many things. Honestly, every year they blow a fuse, and I don't even know what I'm going to do damage on the most there. Lots of carbs. Can guarantee you this whole Christmas season, lots of carbs. So honestly excited for that too. I don't know which one I'm even more excited for. And then Christmas night, we go to my grandmom's house, my dad's mom, and she makes the bangins as well. She is a chocolatier. How freaking cute is my grandmom? She's a chocolatier, and she makes the best chocolates, and she makes like all types of chocolate treats, dark chocolate covered pretzels. The Oreos are my favorite. Lately, she's been making Rice Krispie treats covered in chocolate, and those hit. They be hitting. And so, probably gonna eat a whole plate of chocolate by myself that night. So, I'm going to do some damage on the holiday eating. And what are you guys eating? I want to know what your families also serve on the holidays. Do you have 3 festivities like my family? Is that the normal, or is that just excessive? Because I feel like the Pontalindolfos are pretty excessive with holidays. So what is the normal? Let me know. And what is your favorite holiday treat? Because I highly doubt that anyone is going to say lasagna, but honestly, I say lasagna. That is a staple in my family and in my Christmas Eve memories, and it's my favorite. Get off my back about it. What is your favorite? Since I'm so excited for Christmas, I've also been trying to embrace the holiday season, which is something that I usually don't do. And you know what? I'm gonna throw my mom under the bus here. I think it's because of her. Honestly, I do. And I can explain. My mom isn't the biggest fan of Christmas, and in the past she has been called Scrooge and she has been called the Grinch by other members in my family, but I don't understand it because she pulls through on Christmas. She is the most giving and thoughtful person in the holiday seasons. Like, she always gifts our mailmen like quite well, and last year she did this whole like 12 days of Christmas thing where she put out little like snacks and water bottles for each of like the delivery men. It was so sweet, and obviously for her kids and her nieces and nephews, she goes out of her way to think of like the best gift, and she's so thoughtful for Christmas. So I don't understand why she hates it so much, but she's the best at it, so it makes no sense. But she does hate Christmas, and that's very apparent. And I think that rubbed off on me as a kid. My dad is Mr. Christmas. He loves Christmas, total opposite. But I just didn't vibe with that when I was a kid, and I didn't like Christmas music, and I never really did anything for the holiday season, but I did obviously love Christmas, and I loved our Christmas traditions. But as far as all the extra Christmas shit, where I'm listening to holiday music and making hot chocolate and putting decorations up, that wasn't me. Until like the past 2 years. Now I'm all about the holiday season. whoop-de-doo, I freaking love it now. So I've been really trying to embrace the holiday season any way that I can. And that honestly included reality TV. My sister Brielle is also a reality TV junkie, definitely more than me. She's more committed. But I also love a good reality show. It's honestly like, ew, I'm disgusting. It's the only thing I watch anymore because I feel like scripted shows just don't keep my interest anymore. But reality always does for some reason. And so HBO Max blended my two current obsessions to bring up last episode, episode 3, reality TV, and the holiday season, which I am trying to embrace. And they made the show 12 Dates of Christmas. I think that's what it's called. And it literally is just like a dating show, but holiday themed. And they live in a castle and they give out gifts instead of roses. And there's a mistletoe in each gift if they want to go on a date with you. It's the whole holiday theme Bachelor franchise, honestly. And I've been putting it on while working, and I honestly got sucked in, and I'm loving it. I just watched season 1, and I'm definitely going to watch season 2, and I recommend it to you guys because it, like, catches on, and it's the perfect thing to watch during the holidays. But I just love reality TV, so I'd be curious to know if everyone enjoys this show or only, like, the trash TV lovers of the world, aka myself. But I would actually love to know if you guys do watch reality TV and if you like it, because in the future I would love to have like an interview session on the podcast with a reality TV star, like whether it be like from The Bachelor or something on MTV or like even a social media person. What are your thoughts on that? Because I think that could be really fun, and I've talked to some people that have had them on interviews before, and it seems like the people in the influencer community are pretty responsive, so I feel like that would be really fun. So if there's someone that you would want me to reach out to, or if you have any interest in this at all, let me know. I know I'm calling for a lot of feedback in this episode, but it's really cool to hear from you guys and hear what you want me to talk about. So if this could be something that you think that you would enjoy, like, give me suggestions, because I think it could be really cool. So let's pull in a quick recap, because I called on you guys so much this episode. I feel like I'm asking you more questions than ever. So let me just like recap all of those questions so you guys could get back to me, because I don't want anything to fall through the cracks. Obviously not. So general feedback, obviously, give it to me, positive or negative. Questions, suggestions, comments, anything, please send me your honest feedback. I really need to hear it. I want to hear it. I look forward to hearing it, and I hope that I hear it. I hope some of you reach out to me and let me know what you think. I honestly don't care either way. Just send me what you think, honestly. And I also want to know your feedback about reality TV. Is that something that you're interested in? And do you have suggestions? So reach out to me about that. And lastly, send me your holiday traditions. What do you guys eat? Is it lasagna? Let me know. And what do you guys do? I want to know. I'm like super interested in that, and I'm embracing the holiday season. So that will like really help me get more in the holiday spirit, hearing about everyone's family traditions. So for now, that is it. And I really look forward to hearing from you guys. Please reach out to me and keep following and sharing and keep listening, because I have really enjoyed making each and every episode. And I will speak to you next time. Bye!